Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing this evening? It's 6:15 and it's Master Strategy Monday. I'm happy to be here. I hope you are too. And welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, it's Master Strategy Monday. My name is Erin White. I am the founder and master strategist of Hexagon Strategy Group. And I am doing Master Strategy Mondays for entrepreneurs, current entrepreneurs, would be entrepreneurs. And we're just discussing business topics that may be of interest to you. They should be of interest to you as you are starting your business or growing your business. So, what is the topic for today? The topic for today is how to create a successful business model. And so, your business model, what does success mean really? It's strong, it makes sense, it's clear, right? And so hopefully that business model will lead you to create strategies and a plan for a successful business. Okay, but it really starts with a business model. I don't know why I can't say that tonight. Business model, but a business model. So some people, depending on if you are seeking investment from other entities, investors, angel investors, VCs, you would really have a business plan because they would like to see projections and all of those things. But for most of us who are bootstrapping our businesses or getting money from friends and family, although they may still want to see those things, you want to start with a business model first. A business model helps you get clear on what your business is. I run into a lot of people that I ask them what their business is, and they say things like, well, I have 2 or 3 businesses. Well, one, that's great. But if you're doing all of them at the same time, you're most likely not doing any of them really well, or at least not scaling them to where you would like them to be. And so, a business model for a business that you are taking seriously, for example, maybe it is something you like doing and you're moving from hobby to business owner, you definitely want to have a business model. And so there are varying degrees of a business model that you could have, but we're going to talk about what makes one important today. And so I am excited to be here. At first, I was nervous about doing these things, but now I am no longer nervous about it. And so it looks like I just got connected to Instagram, which is great. Not sure what happened there. But for everybody, I'll just restate really quickly for everyone on Instagram. My name is Erin, and I am founder and master strategist of Hexagon Strategy Group, where I help entrepreneurs and would-be entrepreneurs document their business model, plan, and strategy to make sure they can start, scale, and grow, or start, grow, and scale. Hey, y'all, how you doing? Welcome. Hopefully you heard what you're listening to. This is Master Strategy Mondays, every Monday, where we discuss business strategy and how you can grow and scale. All right. And so today, the topic of today is how to create a successful business model. And a successful business model just means not only is it clear, it's understandable, and you have all the elements of a model that allows you to build a great strategy and ultimately run a great business. All right, so it's a blueprint for how your business creates, delivers, and captures value. Okay, so what does that mean? Those 3 things we can do a masterclass on in and of themselves. So when you create value, that means what does your customer want? Are you giving your customer what they need? Are you meeting and exceeding their expectations as a business? That's creating value. They want something, you can give it to them more or better than anyone else. So welcome everybody. Hey Jay. And so that's how you create value. How you deliver value is how are you giving it to them? So I'll give a quick example. With some restaurants here, I'm in Atlanta, some restaurants here how delivering value is important. So y'all remember the whole Keith Lee, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yay, Bernadette. I'm glad to see you here. Yeah, I could have done a better job also of putting it out there, but it's been a crazy, crazy week. But I'm glad you're here, Bernadette. So how you deliver value. Remember when the whole Keith Lee thing happened in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. How you deliver value is super important. And so, for example, how many people have called a business and you think it's a reputable business and they say, hello? And you're like, is this such and such business? And they say, yeah. Hey, Hattie, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, that is how they're delivering, but they're not delivering value, right? And so they're not delivering the value that they should. So when you go into a place and they know your name, right? They know your name. They're delivering value. Why? Because that's loyalty. They understand that you're an important part of their business, right? So that is also how you can deliver value. Are you delivering things on time, right? That's delivering value. Also, a way you can deliver value is by delivering what you say you're going to deliver. On time, in full, that's delivering value, right? So that's how you deliver value. How you capture value is how you your revenue streams and your cost, right? So whatever the price you charge for your goods and services, that's how you're capturing value. That's how you're bringing value back into your business. And so as we talk about your business model, if any of you are thinking about starting a business or you have a business, okay, your business model is really the engine that drives everything. It helps you understand your customers. It helps you understand your customer problems. It helps you understand how you differ from another person that may be delivering similar goods and services. And so when you have a strong business model, you can scale and have long-term success. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, no shade, I've done it. You start out, with by the seat of your pants, right? And we just happy to get going. But eventually you have to have a business model. You have to understand what you create, right? What value you create, what product you have, how do you serve, how you deliver that to your customer, and then ultimately how you make money. That's how you capture value, right? And so you can kind of compare a business model to a GPS, right? It helps you understand where you're going and how to get there. And so I'll say anybody that's watching this, entrepreneur, please have them share this live with them. And because it's really important. We're coming into a time where, and it's really always been here, but now more than ever, we should be creating multiple streams of income, and starting a side hustle, even if you have a full-time job, is super important. Okay, it's super important. And it may be an opportunity where you have to rely on that second stream for things. So that's where we are. So I think everybody should have a side hustle. I think everybody should have a business. That's just me. I've said it before on broadcast that my grandfather, he used to say, it's a poor rat that has one hole. What does that mean? A poor rat that has one hole. Man, if somebody was trying to get that rat, I know I'm going in too much, but if somebody was trying to get that rat, he would dip into another hole. He had someplace else to go. So what that means is for us is multiple streams of income. All right. So that's right. Hey. Oh my God. Is that my friend? Oh my gosh. Yes, you have to have a side hustle. This is my baby boo. I am confused about this new name that I am seeing on Instagram. But yes, hello, Marissa. I love this. You got to have a side hustle. And this young lady, she knows how to do everything under the sun when it comes to events. She is incredible. And I'm so proud and happy to say that she used to be on a team that I led. And she is incredible. So anyway, all right, let's go over some of the key elements of a successful business model. The key elements of a successful business model are 9 key elements. Value proposition, target customer, revenue streams, cost structure, distribution channels, your relationships. I would say problem, customer segments, unique value proposition, solutions, which you provide, channels, how you deliver it, how you talk to your customers, revenue streams, cost structure, key metrics, how you know you're doing well, and then unfair advantage. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Marissa. You have to text me and let me know about this new IG name. It's cute. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Nice to see you on here too. All right, now listen, if y'all have questions, start putting them in the chat now, because when I finish going over this, I'll answer questions. And I'm serious, y'all. Y'all got to get yourself a side hustle if you have a full-time job. You have to. Okay. So, all right. So let's go over some of the key elements. So remember when I talked about earlier, delivering and creating value and capturing value? Well, when you understand your customer's problem, you're creating value. A lot of times people will start a business based off of what they want to do and not necessarily on what the customer needs. So if you come up with something that someone needs, then you're creating value. So for example, oftentimes this comes in a form of, people get confused about this because they think that perhaps they have to come up with something that no one else has come up with, right? Not true. All right. I'll give you some examples. There are a bajillion whiskeys. I drink whiskey. I love whiskey. Maybe I shouldn't say it with such enthusiasm. But anyway, I really like, well, some more enthusiasm there. I like whiskey. Calm it down. Bring it down. Anyway, I like whiskey. So there are a lot of whiskeys out there. But what's amazing is that people keep creating them. You got Greenwood whiskey, black-owned whiskey. HBCU alum and some partners created that, right? Shout out to Greenwood, right? Then you have Uncle Nearest, amazing human being, created that whiskey, right? They created it. That's amazing. I hate that her name. I can see her as clear as day. Somebody put it in the chat. I can see her as clear as day. Oh my gosh. I cannot, it begins with F. Fawn Weaver created Uncle Nearest whiskey and her family. And so two different whiskeys, but how they created value is, one, black people, we love to know that other black people are making stuff, right? That filled a gap. That was a need that we didn't even know we had. We were busy drinking other whiskeys. But as soon as they came out, and there's some other black purveyors, they made whiskey, we were like, oh, this serves a need to see ourselves in that market, right? So don't think that just because someone else has done something that you don't know your customer problem. The customer problem is that we would like to see more of us creating things like that. Does that make sense? Okay, great. All right, so that's a problem. So what problem can you solve out there? I have a problem. I'm always losing stuff, okay? Air tags. Thank goodness for air tags. But I lose stuff that an air tag can't fit on. Somebody needs to make something teeny tiny for me to use. So where are my glasses? Can't find them. Where's my favorite lip gloss? Can't find it. I would want to attach it to it. So that's a problem. Great. All right. That's how you create value. Another way you create value is by knowing who your customer is. You cannot solve a problem for a person that you don't know. Okay. So who is your customer? Me. I am, for Uncle Nearest or Greenwood, I am a person who drinks, a black woman who drinks whiskey, right? I'm a black person, thank you, Jesus, upwardly mobile, right? Okay, so don't have to be so, but it is, okay, praise him. And so at the end of the day, I can buy the whiskey. I'm really oversimplifying the customer segment, but I am of a certain age, none of your business, and I can spend at a certain price point, blah, 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 blah. I'm their customer. You have to know who your customer is, right? Creating value. The unique value proposition, right? Let's go back to Uncle Nearest, Fawn Weaver. Unique value proposition. Not only does she make a great whiskey, okay, but she also does education on whiskey, education on the black man who, Uncle Nearest, Mr. Nearest, who even came up with Jack Daniel's whiskey. That's a unique value proposition. She's an educator. Right now, she's going on this kick where she's helping people understand, because It's a misnomer out here that tequila has less calories than whiskeys. Well, she says it's not true. Okay, I encourage you to go and look at her IG. She said it's not true, and I believe her. Why? Because she came with facts. She's an educator. She's an educator. So that's a unique value proposition that she has. Also, another unique value proposition that she has is that she owns the land. She owns the land. That's a big deal for her demographic, for her customer segment. Why? Because do you have your 40 acres and a mule? Because I'm still looking for mine. Do you have it? And put it in chat. Put in chat if you got your 40 acres and a mule. If you don't have your 40 acres and a mule, let me know. Just put it in chat. Okay? So that's another way she creates value through her unique value proposition. All right. So how do we deliver value? Solutions. We deliver value with solutions, right? So how does she deliver value? Again, staying on the Uncle Nearest topic because I like whiskey. I confessed it earlier. I was a little bit too enthusiastic, but I do. Exactly. Thank you, Dwayne. You still looking for yours too? Where is it? Where is the 40 acres? Where is it? I have not seen it yet. Thank you, y'all, for engaging and being inclusive in my foolishness. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what makes these broadcasts go well. And I just want to have a little aside for everybody that's watching. When people on here and they're talking to y'all, it looks like we're talking to ourselves, okay? Because we don't see you. So it's really good when you engage and you let us know. I want you to think about it like this. When you're doing something that you care about, everybody likes a kudos or whatever, or just engagement to let people know that you're there. So thank you for everybody who's participating. Just had to say that. I really appreciate you. So delivering value, right? Your solution. How are you delivering value, right? You're delivering value by providing a product that is stellar, right? So going back to the Uncle Nearest example, started out with, I'm going to get the numbers wrong, so I'm not even going to try, but she started out with and if you know what it is, the first Uncle Nearest. Hey Tina, how are you? Y'all, this is my bestie since I was 14. Don't ask her any questions about me. She knows everything. She's awesome. Anyway, so solutions. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb because we got people tagging into my live. And so let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Okay. So she started out with 1890. I don't want to get it wrong. She started out with one version of Uncle Nearest. Then she went to the next version of Uncle Nearest. Now she has like 5-6 bottles, different bottles of Uncle Nearest, and then sometimes I believe she does special bottles. So those are solutions. The solution that I like the most that she does is rye. I love rye whiskey. Okay. I love rye whiskey. So going to the Uncle Nearest example, the solution you provide to the customer segment that you've taken time to get to know, that's how you create value. You've taken care of their problems. There's no black-owned, at first there were no well-known black-owned whiskeys. She opened the gate for that. I'm sure there were people before her, but she's really done a great job. So she solved that problem. And then the solution is she has a whiskey for everyone. I'm a rye drinker. Why rye? Because I love peppery whiskey. Okay, so that's why. That's her solution. Then your channel. Another way, now we're getting into delivering value again. So delivering value, create particular solution. Delivering value, how do you find your customer? How do you talk to them? She's amazing at social media. Also, she has events. Okay, she has events in Tennessee. So these are all different channels. So what are the pathways to your customer? You have to figure that out. Hey, Chanel, how you doing? So you have to figure out a pathway to your customer. Okay, so that's how you do that. That's how you deliver value. Where are your customers and where do your customers like to be engaged? That's how you deliver value. That's through a channel. And then how do you capture value, right? It's what you charge. Your revenue streams, right? So your revenue streams, so for example, I'll use my example. My revenue streams are courses, workshops, one-on-one coaching. Those are my revenue streams, okay? I'm building a YouTube channel. Stay tuned. Building a YouTube channel where I'll actually be uploading all of these. Eventually that will monetize. That time capturing value. That's a revenue stream. Let's go back to the Uncle Nearest example. How does some of her revenue streams? Some of her revenue streams are liquor stores, right? That's a revenue stream, right? Another revenue stream are, where she has the events. That's another revenue stream she has in Tennessee. There are other revenue streams that I'm sure she has. Online sales, a revenue stream. In-store sales, a revenue stream, right? Thank you. Thank you. She's my buddy. Thank you so much. So those are different revenue streams. Okay. So I want to go back to something I said earlier on in the broadcast. I don't know if many of you were here, but, when I run into people that say, oh no, I have 2 to 3 businesses and you don't have to. You don't have to have 2 to 3 businesses if you've created a solid business model and you have figured out what the revenue streams are in your business model. Okay. So, you have a private club concept. That's a business model. Membership dues. That's a revenue stream, right? But then also if you lease out space or rent space for events, that's a revenue stream. Same business, different revenue streams. Okay. Capturing value. All right. Cost structure. All right. That's how you capture value. Why? Because you want to be lean and mean in your cost structure. You should know your fixed and variable costs. Fixed costs. What are fixed costs? Fixed costs are things that don't change. You pay the same thing month after month after month. Variable costs are things that may fluctuate, right? So it could be utilities. It could be, anything that changes on a regular basis. So, and that you can't predict. Okay. Gas, fuel for your car, variable costs, things like that. So guys, I just want to say this to you. I know that business strategy, for so long, I did not want to do this. I did not think I had a voice in the online world, because what I talk about, I think it's sexy. I think it's awesome. But a lot of times people want to market. They want to, they just want to know the fun stuff. They want to create graphics. They want to do this. But this is work to really create a sound company, a sound business. You have to understand how to do a business model. You have to understand how to do a business strategy. And this is free game. This is really free game. I'm telling you, if you want to create something that's going to last, if you want to create an entity, a business entity that's going to last, you have to understand how to create a business model. Thank you, Dwayne. You have to understand how to create a business model. There are a lot of if you just do this, you'll make this amount of money. It's a lot of online. If you do this, you'll make this amount of money. If you do this, you'll create. If you just no, if you just work hard, if you just have a sound business strategy, if you just put in the work to understand what goes into that and then work your plan, even when it doesn't look like it's working, then that's what will work. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So that's your cost structure. Key metrics. How do you know you're winning? A lot of people say revenue. Maybe. A lot of people say revenue, right? But revenue alone, I personally, that is not one of my key metrics. One of my key metrics to know if I'm winning is profit, right? So another thing that you'll hear a lot online is I had $1 million year, or I had a $500,000 year, or I made $100,000, right? Or blah, blah, blah. That's fine. To me, it's just like when I see a man looking good with a new car, he riding it. I'm like, that's cute. But I don't know what your note is. I don't know. I don't know if it's too high. And I don't know if your interest rate is too high. And I don't know what your credit score is. So we got to look beyond the flash. Okay. And for me, revenue is flash. Okay. So what I brought in revenue wise is flash. What I took home is profit. That's what makes the most sense to me, right? So let's go back to the cost structure and the revenue. Revenue, sorry for people on IG. Revenue, cost structure. Profit is what matters. That's right. Gross versus net. Exactly. That's exactly the same way of saying it. You can make so much money, but if you don't control your costs and you don't know what your costs are, then your revenue doesn't matter. So if I'm making $100,000, but I'm spending 80 to make that 100, I got a problem, right? Especially if my expenses exceed the cost. So for example, if I'm making 100 and it took me 80 to make it, but my overall expenses, business and personal, are 101,000. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I made 100, but my overall expenses, including what it cost me to even deliver to get that revenue, is 101. I'm negative 1,000. So don't be misled by revenue. And that's why your key metrics, these are numbers that show you how your business is doing. Okay, so that's right, drown in debt. So that's right, Hattie. So Hattie Cooper is an amazing real estate agent. She's also a Bison. Not saying that makes her great, but just saying. Anyway, but the last thing is unfair advantage. Okay, the last thing is unfair advantage, and unfair advantage is something that cannot be easily duplicated or bought. Okay, so I have an unfair advantage when it comes to my business. And a lot of times when you're doing this model, you're building out your business model, you may not know what your unfair advantage is. And that's okay. It may come to light later. And sorry, y'all, if y'all hear just copious amounts of chewing in the background, that's my foster dog Flower. She has found her bone. Okay, anyway. So something that can't be easily duplicated or bought is my over 20 plus years of experience. My education at Howard University, my MBA from Vanderbilt University, my experience traveling all over the world, my experience leading teams all over the world, and also being a part of teams all over the world, doing business in 26 countries where I had to be, I was the support for individuals in 26 countries all over Europe. You can't buy it. That's me running a family business in South Africa for 3 years. You can't buy that. So when I'm talking to you all here on Instagram and everything, there's a lot of noise out there, right? But I know that can't be duplicated. That's what I did. That's my experience. That's what I've done. And have succeeded in that. I've had lumps and bumps and trials and tribulations. Oh my. And now she's drinking, slurping in her water bowl. Oh, maybe you guys can hear that. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the business model. Those are the 9 elements. And what I have based that off of is the lean canvas. And I talked about that in my last broadcast, and I encourage all of you to look that up. Are there any questions about a business model? Are there any questions? I know I talked a lot and I talk fast. But if you have any questions, let me know. Drop them in the chat. Even if you're curious about starting a business, even if you've already started a business and maybe you've hit a plateau and you have questions around that, feel free to ask me. While you all are thinking of questions, I do want to talk about a couple of pitfalls that when creating a business model you can think of. And that is one, trying to be everything to everybody. You can't do that. You can't do it in friendship. You can't do it in relationship. And you sure can't do it in business. You cannot be everything to everybody. Okay? You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are unique. And you need to understand the value that you provide and provide that value. Okay? Mistake number 2. Ignoring profit margins. Because I have my notes here, child. And I was ahead of the game. Ignoring profit margins. Revenue is not the same as profit. Know your margins so your business can sustain itself. So I'll just reiterate that again. And then failing to evolve. I see your question, Hattie. I'm about to get to it. Failing to evolve. Y'all, this is a whole thing right here. When the market changes, you need to be willing to adapt your model as your customer needs and trends shift. This kind of answers the question that Hattie is asking. So let me bring it in. So Hattie asked, how often should your business model change? So this is what I'll say, because I think the entire business model doesn't necessarily need to change, but aspects of the business model need to change. Okay, I see your comment, Dwayne. I'll get to it. So how often should it change? And I kind of just answered that. We're coming into a season rapidly where the market is going to change. And it's going to change. We have a new incoming president. The market is going to change. I think there's a lot that people are anticipating changing. I think there's some things that won't change, actually. I do. It depends on how fast folks act, but we won't know until, it happens. But I think there's a lot of stuff that has been built and solidified that may, and I hope I don't have to eat my words, but won't necessarily change extremely rapidly. What I do believe, and this is another reason why I truly believe everybody needs a side hustle. And at the sound of my voice, please, 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 once this is posted, share this with people. This is not the time for play. This is not the time for play. You need to think about starting something. Start it. I don't care. When growing up, we didn't have all the money in the world. My mother used to paint Santa Clauses. Back when you couldn't find a black Santa Claus. My mother used to paint Santa Clauses black as a side hustle. She used to do nails as a side hustle. She used to do a bunch of stuff just to get us where we needed to go. Ooh, I'm getting emotional about that. But please be ye ready. Be ready. Okay, so to answer your question, Hattie, how often should your business model change? Aspects of your business model should change according to the market. So I'll give an example, especially your revenue streams. When COVID hit, you had a lot of people doing in-person events. They were doing in-person events. Their whole business was built on in-person events, right? So their revenue streams were ticket sales, all let's say it was ticket sales. Well, in-person ticket sales. Well, how they had to change their revenue stream was they had to get Zoom. They maybe had to get Zoom webinar, and they had to start hosting events online, and they had to figure it out quickly. So that's a great example of, it's not a matter of how often your business model should change. It's really a matter of what are the trends and the shifts in the marketplace that are forcing you to be proactive to change your business model. And so that's why, as hard as sometimes it can be to watch the news or to read the Wall Street Journal or to look at business, finance news and stuff like that, which I think everybody should do, that's going to help you understand when you should shift your business model. Is that helpful? And if I didn't answer it, then if you can get more granular on your question, I think that'll help. So Dwayne said, Uncle Anthony 2020 said, my business's biggest problem is me. That's true for all of us. You're not alone. But marketing is up there as well. So Dwayne, it really depends on what you mean by marketing. And if you don't mind, because I know it's the shirts and everything, and your ready to wear line, I believe, if I'm remembering properly, there's things that you can do. I think a lot of times we listen to the noise about the things that we should do instead of just doing what we know is good. So, for example, let me pull up your thing. Let me pull up. I'm pulling up y'all give me a second. I'm pulling up his Instagram. How am I not following you? Oh my God. Accept me. I wasn't following you. And I can't see, but one of the things that, and you should link up with what you call, you should link up. I think I am following. Oh Lord, I was in another account. I'm sorry. I am following you. Okay, so do you want to hear it? Okay, before I say something about before I give you feedback, do you want me to give you feedback? Okay, what's your other one? Oh, up to apparel. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So the one thing I think you should do while I'm looking at your Instagram, y'all put your other Instagram in the chat so people know, just in case there's any other bison on here. You haven't turned this into a store. So you have the ability to turn this into a store and make shoppable posts, Dwayne. And you got to do that. You got to do that before homecoming. And then the other thing, yeah, you have to turn this in, because see how you have your in your bio, you have the link to your store. Now, they don't make it easy. I set up my mom's store for her. Shout out to Style Enhancer. I set up my mom's store for her, and it is cumbersome, but it's worth it. All of these things where you have shirts here, all of these things I should be able to click on here and go right and buy. What you're making me do is you're making me look at it, go up, click the link, and then go through your website and find that shirt. Does that make sense? But if you become a store on here, then I would be able to click on one of these and go right and buy it. So just think about that, okay? Any other questions? That's one thing you can do. It's a lot you can do, but it's one. The other thing I want to tell y'all, when a black woman started clapping, they're serious. One thing I want to tell y'all is y'all need to get an email list so you can sell to that email list. Hattie, I know you have one because you have to. You're in real estate. But you have to have an email list, and you have to communicate with that email list. Okay? And build that email list up. If you go to the link in my bio, I have an affiliate link, full disclosure, with ConvertKit. I love ConvertKit. And if you want to be on my email list, then just put list in the chat and I'll send you a link to join my email list. If you want to be on my list for more information like this and to see when I'm dropping things, drop the word list in the chat and I will put you on my email list. Hey, little bit. Glad to see you join. Okay. So breakthrough experience. This was another one of my clients. Okay. I know, right? Because I don't think you're on my email list. We just worked. That's crazy. So Jamia's asking, how often should we be communicating with the email list? Okay. So you should be communicating with your email list on a regular basis. Not an answer. I know. Okay. What I mean by that is whatever you deem necessary. So I think everybody should work up to, it depends. So it depends. So every 2 weeks, some people send something every week. That's a lot for some things. But the reason why I said regular is I would start with once a month and then keep that up, keep that cadence up, and then increase it. But make sure you have something to increase it to. Because what you don't want to do, and this is a full disclosure, a mistake I made, is you don't only want to communicate to your email list when you're dropping something. Okay? you want to make it a part of your regular routine. So say like this is the second Monday, or is this the third Monday in January? Is this the first? Which Monday is this? Lord have mercy. This is the second Monday. So it's the second Monday, and say you want to drop the second Monday in February, the second Monday in March. It's like, just do it. That's what I mean by regularly and consistently. Pick a day that you want to do it. And this is another recommendation I have. Just go into ChatGPT and say, hey chatters, I want to do a monthly email list that is published or sent out the second Monday of every month. Okay? Put that in ChatGPT. Say, I want to publish or send out an email to my list the second Monday of every month. Please help me create a plan to ensure that leads up to that ensures I can do that. And then that's your SOP. That's your standard operating procedure. So again, the prompt in ChatGPT is saying, hey, I want to publish an email list the second Monday of every month. Please help me create. Oh, you can say this is actually better words. Please help me create a workflow to ensure that happens. Ta-da. Okay? That's right. I said it. I said ta-da. I'm telling my age. Anyway, so that's what you do in order to make sure, okay, that you have a cadence by which you want to do that. Again, if you want to join my email list to get more of these, more of this information, because I try to publish this kind of stuff to help people, and I do it in categories so I'm not all over the map, because my ADHD will have me all over the map. But if you want to join my email list, drop list in the chat, and I'm happy to do that for you. Hattie says, let me pull this in. Hattie says, a CRM is even better for sales so you can track interactions. Yes, that is true. Hattie, don't forget, you are a real estate extraordinaire. A CRM is very expensive for an entrepreneur that's just starting out or that is trying to grow. And I agree. You want to work your way up to, yes, you want to work your way up to a CRM because it can be expensive. And a lot of times when you're just starting out or you're trying to grow, then you can do like a kit. I said it used to be called ConvertKit, kit.com, or get yourself an ESP, an email service provider. So just to be clear for everybody listening, a CRM is customer relationship manager or management system. And then an ESP is an email service provider. And some of these new email service providers, you can do several things in there. It will be more manual, to Hattie's point. But I am always a fan of doing the work so you can afford those types of things. But for sure, if you're in a sales focused business where you do a lot, like you have to do a lot of sales calls, things like that, a CRM will be your best bet. That's absolutely correct. I'm glad to hear that you've been using chat every day. Just always remember to modify. You don't use it exactly as is, right? But yeah, chat, man, 6 months ago, our lives have become so much easier with ChatGPT and all these other ones. Maybe one day I'll do a class on all the AI platforms I'm learning about. I'm really enjoying them. And Hattie says, for everybody on the call, and Hattie, I actually have a surprise for you. Actually, I'm glad you're on here. Hattie says, also tell ChatGPT your industry. Absolutely, that is fantastic. Always, also tell it your industry. I named mine Echo because it echoes everything I say. Just so you know. Anyway, it's probably too much information. So Hattie, I have a surprise for you, and I was hoping you would be on here. My cousin listened to the one before, not the last one, but the one before last, and she had something for you, which I thought was genius. So, do you remember when we were talking about empathy, putting empathy in your business processes? Yes, if you're still in here and you remember, just let me know. So she called me. She was like, Erin, I was trying to put, I think something was wrong. Maybe I thought I was on Instagram and I wasn't. But she has an idea. So you remember when I told you to preempt some of those questions around what people believe adds value and what doesn't add value to a home, because people will put crazy stuff in a home and they say, well, I did this, and they thought it added value, and it didn't necessarily add value. She said your content, because I told you to create a list and put that in your paperwork, blah blah. She had a genius idea. She said, take everything you know about that and go through homes and point out stuff. This is content for you, content that is almost inexhaustible, because you're looking at different homes, and go through homes that you're selling and say, this is an example of something that adds value to a home. This is an example of something that does not add value to a home. And then go on and explain those things, and that will create constant TikTok content, Facebook, although we don't know what's going to happen to TikTok, but social media content. It can also create content for your email newsletters. And so, because she's a designer, clothes designer, my cousin, but she was just like, oh my gosh, it would be awesome. And she's younger than us, which is why she thinks like that. But she just desperately wanted me to tell you that, and I think that's a great idea. All right. I've gone over by 1 minute. Any other questions? So I only have one person that wants to join my list. Unbelievable. Does anybody else want to join my list? And if you want to do lists, you can also add it later. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit. But what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to take down these and add them to my YouTube and to my website moving forward. So I'm really excited about that. Thank y'all for joining. I always love this Master Strategy Monday. I'm super excited about it. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, because I want to stay in touch. But anyway, y'all, I really appreciate y'all being here. Please tell a friend about Master Strategy Mondays. If you know any other entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs, please let them know about this. I try to give really actionable insights. I try not to do fluff. This is stuff that people pay a lot of money for. And I'm okay with it. I know God will bless me on the back end, but I really want you all to walk away with things that you can do now. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good week.